The Amazon rainforest, sprawling across 9 South American countries, is often referred to as the lungs of the earth. This vast expanse of dense jungle, rich in biodiversity and natural resources, is not only a sanctuary for millions of plant and animal species, but also home to numerous indigenous tribes. These tribes, some of whom have lived in isolation for centuries, have developed extraordinary ways to survive and thrive in one of the most challenging ecosystems on the planet. Their existence is a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and harmony with nature. The Amazon rainforest is home to approximately 400 to 500 indigenous tribes, each with its own language, culture, and traditions. While some tribes have integrated to varying degrees with modern society, others remain isolated, avoiding contact with the outside world. These uncontacted tribes are often referred to as voluntary isolation groups, choosing to live as their ancestors did, away from modern influences. Prominent tribes such as the Yanomami, Kayapo, and Ashaninka are known for their distinct ways of life. The Yanomami, for instance, inhabit the border regions of Brazil and Venezuela, living in large communal houses called chabonos. These structures are built from forest materials, providing shelter while maintaining a connection to the natural environment. The Kayapo, residing in the southeastern part of the Amazon, are renowned for their environmental activism and intricate body paint designs that signify their social roles and achievements. These body paints are derived from natural pigments, highlighting their deep connection to the forest's resources. Meanwhile, the Ashaninka, one of the largest tribes in Peru, are known for their vibrant woven garments and deep spiritual connection to the forest, often expressed through songs, rituals, and oral storytelling traditions that pass down knowledge through generations. Surviving in the Amazon rainforest requires an intimate knowledge of its resources and dangers. Indigenous tribes possess unparalleled expertise in utilizing the forest's flora and fauna for food, medicine, and shelter. Their diets are remarkably diverse, comprising fish, fruits, nuts, insects, and game animals. Hunting and fishing techniques are tailored to the environment, with tools such as blowguns and bows crafted from local materials. Many tribes practice shifting cultivation, growing staple crops like cassava, plantains, and maize on small plots of land before allowing the forest to regenerate naturally. This sustainable farming method ensures minimal long-term damage to the ecosystem. The tribes also use the forest's natural resources for medicinal purposes. Their knowledge of plants' healing properties is extensive, with remedies for ailments ranging from snake bites to fevers. For instance, the bark of the cinchona tree, from which quinine is derived, has been used by indigenous people to treat malaria. Similarly, the sap of certain trees serves as an antiseptic, and leaves from specific plants can alleviate pain or inflammation. Such knowledge has been passed down orally through generations, forming a vital part of their cultural heritage and serving as a resource for modern medicine. Shelter construction also demonstrates their resourcefulness. Using palm leaves, vines, and wood, tribes build homes that provide protection from rain, insects, and predators. These structures are often temporary, allowing for mobility as they adapt to the forest's dynamic environment. Clothing, where worn, is often minimal due to the humid climate, with decorative elements serving cultural or spiritual purposes. The social organization of Amazonian tribes is deeply rooted in cooperation and mutual respect. Most tribes live in communal settings, where resources are shared and decisions are made collectively. Elders hold significant authority, serving as custodians of tribal knowledge and mediators of disputes. Their wisdom, accumulated over decades, ensures the survival of traditions and the well-being of the community. Rituals and ceremonies play a central role in community life, often tied to significant events such as births, deaths, and harvests. These ceremonies are deeply spiritual, reflecting the tribe's belief systems that emphasize harmony with nature. For instance, the ayahuasca ritual, practiced by several Amazonian tribes, involves consuming a plant-based brew believed to connect participants with the spiritual world and provide profound insights. These ceremonies are led by shamans, who are regarded as healers and spiritual guides within their communities. The shaman's role is crucial, as they act as intermediaries between the physical and spiritual realms. Marriage customs, child-rearing practices, and conflict resolution all reflect a communal ethos. Children are raised collectively, learning survival skills, cultural practices, and respect for nature from an early age. Hunting expeditions, for example, are not just a means of procuring food, but also opportunities for teaching younger generations about patience, precision, and the interconnectedness of all life. Despite their resilience, Amazonian tribes face numerous threats that endanger their way of life and the rainforest's ecological balance. Deforestation, driven by logging, agriculture, and mining, has devastated large swathes of the forest, encroaching on tribal lands and disrupting ecosystems. Illegal activities such as poaching and drug trafficking further exacerbate these issues, often putting indigenous communities at risk of violence. Roads and infrastructure projects, while often touted as development, frequently fragment habitats and introduce outsiders to previously inaccessible areas, increasing the risk of conflict. Climate change poses another significant challenge. Rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns have disrupted the delicate balance of the rainforest, affecting food and water availability. For tribes reliant on predictable natural cycles, these changes are particularly devastating. Droughts, floods, and altered river flows impact fish populations and agricultural yields, threatening their sustenance and livelihoods. Additionally, uncontacted tribes are highly vulnerable to diseases brought by outsiders, against which they have no immunity. Historically, contact with settlers and loggers has led to catastrophic outbreaks, decimating populations. The spread of COVID-19 highlighted the ongoing vulnerability of these communities to global health crises, as even minimal exposure to the virus posed existential risks. Political challenges further complicate the situation. In some countries, indigenous land rights are undermined by weak enforcement or conflicting interests. Corruption and lobbying by powerful industries often prioritize economic exploitation over the protection of indigenous territories. Recognizing the importance of indigenous tribes in preserving the Amazon's biodiversity, various organizations and governments have initiated efforts to protect their rights and lands. Brazil's constitution, for example, recognizes indigenous peoples' rights to their traditional territories. However, enforcement remains a challenge, often hindered by political and economic pressures. In some cases, legal battles over land ownership drag on for decades, leaving tribes in limbo and vulnerable to encroachment. International organizations like Survival International and the Amazon Conservation Team work tirelessly to support indigenous communities, advocating for their rights and promoting sustainable practices. These groups emphasize the importance of empowering tribes to lead conservation efforts, given their unparalleled understanding of the rainforest. By training indigenous leaders and providing resources for territorial monitoring, these organizations help tribes defend their lands more effectively. Indigenous-led initiatives have also gained momentum. The Kayapo, for instance, have formed alliances with environmental organizations to combat illegal logging and mining. Their efforts include using drones and satellite technology to monitor their territories, blending traditional knowledge with modern tools to safeguard their lands. Similarly, the Yanomami have advocated for the removal of illegal gold miners from their territory, highlighting the environmental and health damages caused by mercury pollution in rivers. The wisdom of Amazonian tribes offers invaluable lessons for modern society. Their sustainable practices, rooted in deep respect for nature, provide a stark contrast to the exploitative methods that have led to environmental degradation. By prioritizing balance and stewardship over short-term gains, these tribes demonstrate a model of coexistence with the natural world that could inspire global conservation efforts. Furthermore, their community-oriented lifestyles highlight the importance of cooperation and mutual support in building resilient societies. In a world increasingly driven by individualism, the values upheld by Amazonian tribes serve as a poignant reminder of the strength found in unity. Their stories also underscore the importance of preserving cultural diversity as a cornerstone of humanity's collective heritage. The future of the Amazon rainforest and its indigenous tribes hangs in a delicate balance. As the world grapples with the twin crises of biodiversity loss and climate change, the role of these tribes as guardians of the rainforest has never been more critical. Their survival is intertwined with the health of the Amazon, which in turn impacts global ecological stability. Preserving the Amazon requires a multifaceted approach, involving stricter enforcement of conservation laws, greater recognition of indigenous rights, and global cooperation to address the drivers of deforestation and climate change. It also demands a shift in societal values, recognizing the intrinsic worth of the rainforest and its inhabitants beyond economic metrics. Educational campaigns, consumer choices favoring sustainable products, and international pressure on governments can all contribute to this effort. In conclusion, the indigenous tribes of the Amazon rainforest embody a profound connection to the natural world that is both inspiring and humbling. Their resilience in the face of adversity and their unwavering commitment to living in harmony with nature are lessons that the world cannot afford to ignore. Protecting these communities and their lands is not just an ethical imperative, but a crucial step toward ensuring a sustainable future for all. As stewards of one of Earth's most vital ecosystems, their role in shaping the planet's environmental and cultural legacy is indispensable.